He's been pretty solid for the Demons. First time in Melbourne colours in the real thing.
Got it.
And he has. Watts takes the mark. A decisive mark, needs to go back and convert.
Well, that time Davis lost his body. Jack Watts had 2 or 3 metres, and that's where he's most comfortable. He hasn't quite learnt the art of the body and then back into the space. I think that's something they need to employ somebody like your good self to go down there and have a chat to him about.
I watched that in isolation. Phil Davis followed his man Hogan out, and Marchbank said, no, I'll take him, but it didn't leave Davis enough time in the handover to get to Jack Watts.
Should be comfortable from here on the numbers, and he is.
Oh, that'll make Leon real angry now.
Big goal for the Demons, and you can see what it means. Big breath and trying to get them going again.
Well, it was a centre clearance. It was just pure footy. Ruckman to Rover. Rover rode half forward, turns around, looks for the main man. And this time it's Jack Watts. You can see there the separation. It was a good shot from behind the goals. And both Giants boys lost their men. And Jack Watts was the recipient. And he starts with a confidence-building goal.
Good action. Pressure kick. It's in close. Very few set shots have hit the target today, so that's a good pressure kick.
Jones to Jones. Thumps it long. Watts, can he get there? Jack Watts on the spot. Hardly seen it all day. And this kick for the lead back.
Hasn't been his finest game, just 7 disposals of 50%. But the one thing that Jack Watts has continuously been able to do when he's been playing senior football is nail the goals. And from this spot, across all grounds in the competition, he hasn't missed.
That's what he has ahead of him. Not his day to make it his moment. And Melbourne are in front.
It's around. Kennedy, the voice, Salem, they're inside. And that's going to go the journey. Oh, Watts has marked it.
Good decision to mark. Probably marked. No, the umpire said outside the square, so he'll come round on the angle. But given the 10-metre protection zone, it matters not. Much better use of the ball. It wasn't a blast by Salem. It was good hands around the contacts. Never in doubt.
Got it.
So there's a bit going right for the Demons in this first couple of minutes. They've had a couple of shots at goal without the Kangaroos going in. You just see good hands here. You could have easily blasted away, but you've got 2 blokes down there.
Had to mark it.
Use them.
Good decision. If he didn't mark that, that was going through for a point. But I like Salem here because you watch this. This is what Dean Kent needs to look at. See the sharp step straight and perform a good drop punt. Look, he didn't kick the goal, but at least Jack Watts then was smart enough to take the mark in behind. It was a controlled kick.
To meet it.
22.
Harms is pushing deep. Sorry, Jono.
No, 22-13 now in clearances. So if they get that right, they're going to get good ball going forward.
Free kick to Watts.
Well, it's a Watts-led recovery right now. He was involved in the first goal at the other end of the ground with Hogan, and he's been involved in the first goal in this quarter, and this one should go through, Jono.
Well, he's going to have to hit it hard at the right-hand post, and the wind should just bring it around enough to allow this to sail straight over the goal umpire's hat, Jared.
Sounds easy, Jono. Let's see if it is or not. Jack Watts is such a critical player for them. And he's judged that perfectly. Just as you said, Jono, for a lovely goal. And that is 4 of the last 5, and the Demons back within 23 points.
And a little bit of hope restored to the campaign here by Melbourne. We'll have a look. You can see there he's just been pushed off the ball by Thompson, and the umpire was on it.
Yeah, grab there up the top near the sponsor's logo on the jumper. But it's around the ball. It's clearances, and that's where they were strong in that first quarter but got nothing from it. North Melbourne were able to get the ball back after they won first possession, but early in this quarter it's been a winning clearances, good ball inside forward 50, and they're getting on the scoreboard now, Melbourne.
3/4 time.
Jacobs handballing backwards, so Melbourne edging closer to goal. cross.
Oh, he's got this. That has
Just
gone backwards.
dropped perfectly for Jack, who's like, wow.
Well, he was setting up for a front square, I think, for a crumb, and then it just fell. Even he's laughing. He can't believe it. Fell in his arms. Yeah, it is a huge kick.
It's okay to smile. Smile after the job's done. This is a massive kick and a difficult kick. But he would be their best shot at goal.
Jack Siebel's just back on the ground now, boys.
Couple of deep breaths for Jack Watts. You get a perfect view. Breeze, massive factor here. It's going to hold on. Precious goal for the D's.
He's putting together a pretty fair game now, High Voltage. He really is letting it go, Jono. Not huge possessions, but what he has touched has turned to goals.
Well, it has been, and look, disappointing last week. Good in round one, not so good last week, and then responding again now. His NAB challenge, the whole thing was perfect as well in his preparation. So it's 5 out of 6 games where Jack Watts now has had a real impact for Melbourne.
Back Brayshaw, read it well off hands. Chance for Harms. Bullets it to Kent. Kicked 4 last week. Over the top to a running bug. Couple of options. Watts points where he wants it. Gets it delivered there. Bouncing ball, has to deal with it. Now about the finish. It'll curl. It's perfect. Demons get the first.
Kennedy plays on. Lumumba in the stride, inside the forward 50, and coming up, Watts takes the mark on his chest.
Well weighted kick, wasn't it, from Lumumba? He just got it over the head of side bottom, almost got back to intercept. Nice use.
Copy ball.
15 gone.
So Jack Watts taking his time, but an important kick. They lead by 5. He's getting some advice. Taking all his allotted time. No action taken, and he comes, kicks on the way, and it's good. Worth the wait. Another one for Melbourne, his second.
Point margin now 30. Kennedy over the top. Here's Kent, kicks the ball a long way, pulls the kick into the pocket. Watts waits, beautifully weighted. So tricky spot. Contemplates coming inside, gets moved around, and now things get crowded.
It's a good kick of the footy and a lot of open goal space when you're out towards the boundary line, 50-metre line intersections here at the MCG. So he's a nice straight kick.
And he's 7-1 for the year, so when he's had the opportunities, he's been accurate. 2 straight for the afternoon. Well, that's outstanding stuff. Quick response. If you've just tuned in, 10-minute mark of this term after Brayshaw's goal. Demons by 42. 4 of the last 5 to the Demons. Here's Jack Watts round the corner. Well, how do you like that? He's got 4.
Miles and Viney, that's been an interesting duel already. Viney's ball down to Watts in front. Got the big body in front of McIntosh and swallowed it.
He's kicked 9 goals already this year, Jack. He kicked 10 in 20 games last year, so he's in good form. And he actually does this part of the game pretty well. Goes back, and normally it's a pretty good set shot kick.
He's a beautiful kick of the footy. He's had a great start to his year.
After all that criticism and times when he probably thought he wouldn't be at the Demons, he started this year really well, and no surprise the D's have as well. It's a big boot. That's an important kick, and Jack makes it 3 for the D's.
And again into the pocket. Rance again on the last line for Richmond. Kent, almost a drop kick there. Hooley, bouncing ball. Rance desperate again, crashed into Watts. Watts will get the free kick.
I should also mention too that going out onto the ground at quarter time, it's noticeable how wet the ground is. There's a really heavy dew on this ground, so it's going to make conditions really difficult the longer this game goes.
Well, he kicked one from here last week against the Pies, and in actual fact it was a tighter angle than this last week, so he most definitely should be going back and lining them up.
10 goals, 2 for the year. 4-1 last week. Has 1 next to his name already tonight. As good as last week, maybe better. Terrific.
Key position defender who They can do a bit of it all. It's a great kick in the corridor.
I'm told Petrarca is basically demanding he gets a game, and they're just holding him back. Now Jetta goes searching inside 50. Watts, second crack, he was held.
Oh, sure.
I've reported him.
So
Let him go. Let him go. You're reported. He's reported. Let him go. Having a hold. Then high. Yes. 50.
Most uncharacteristic from Alex Rance. And then Viney in quick as a flash.
Yeah.
Well, that's just a man that's frustrated. That's an action of a man that has tried his heart out tonight, and it's all boiled over in a moment of frustration.
So you heard he's been reported for that, Alex Rance.
Watts has 3, and the Demons going to grab another 4 points. To wake the ball over the top to Bruce, but it's been intercepted. Viney a particle, Salem, half volley, taken beautifully by Jones. On the run, Viney runs to 55, floats it forward. Second grab, third grab, finally paid.
That's a great mark. That ball was floating all over the place.
I'll tell you what, Tim, they very nearly didn't defend the kick in. No. There was one Bernie Vince hand in the way.
Did you see how they flooded the central part of the ground then, St Kilda? That's where they had all their numbers. And you're quite right. Look at the work that ball's doing in the air there. What a great concentration by Jack.
So Watts, who's been prolific in front of goals in the last 3 weeks, 10-1, only has a minus score next to his name this afternoon. This to make it a 2-goal ball game. That looks better than his first attempt. Jack's on the board.
Just forward of the wing, and this is where they've been held up. And again, Montagna just hurting the space. Oh, Watts, very clever, strong mark. Gee, that was a good grab. So that was Wagner and Weller.
Oh. A little sneaky.
Can't see Jack. Don't move around. 15 gone.
Wagner had enough.
That was
by the end of that.
White flag went up. So Jack Watts, 1-1 this afternoon. Normally such an accurate kick for goal. They desperately need this one, and Jack Watts delivers. So, some fight in the Demons. Credit to him, that was a terrific grab. It was coming in, it was not an easy one to mark. He was caught between a couple of players. And when they needed somebody to stand up and create, that was a good grab.
In there, and he's stopped Gullett. It'll come back. Here's Vince. Little ball over the top. Well, that was outstanding kick.
You got to find the right target in that Bulldogs defence. They just cover for each other beautifully, whether they zone or play man to man. There's very few holes in there, and Melbourne haven't been able to find these kind of holes that often. Although they've been a bit inaccurate, I guess 5 goals 9, but. Just both the target has to find the hole and the kicker has to be able to get it to him.
And Lee, you say they've been inaccurate. They've kicked 1-4 from set shots. The Dogs 6 goals 2. So Jack Watts hasn't scored this afternoon.
You, mate.
To bring it back to 5 goals. And he delivers the goal the Demons fans were praying for. 30-point margin. On, just corralled him, worked it back inside. Here's Garlett, little give. Kennedy got rid of one tackler, took on the second to Hunt, to the runner in Viney. The tackler was hoping it was Liberatore, wasn't. He's stranded on 18, over the top to Watts. So Watts, there's just the 1 goal for the afternoon.
Got images of a situation here, Home, where they might have the ball, the Bulldogs, and just give it up deliberately so that Liver can get the tackles.
15 seconds.
If you've just joined us and you don't know what we're talking about, 19 most tackles ever applied in a game. Jack Zeeble, Jude Bolton share the record. Liberatore 18 for the afternoon. Watts, you see what lies before him. Margin is 45 points. It's a game-high lead. Well, he's a beautiful kick of the football, and that is no exception. Go the Demons. Petrarca to half-forward. It's a wonderful kick over the top to Watts. Happy just to step back inside. Little give. Hogan, he's too far out. He'll wheel onto the right boot. Well, he was going to.
Just look at the Bulldogs jumpers back there. They've got it flooded.
Into the pocket. Again to Watts.
Well, they got it to their most accurate kick, I would have thought, but that was about the only space that was available with that Bulldog flood back.
So a couple for the afternoon. Kicked a goal from here a few weeks ago. And almost this exact spot.
He's only had the 13 touches, kicked the 2 goals, but he's actually kicking the ball really well. The goals that he has kicked, they've come off nice.
14-4 from set shots for the year for Watts. Has he brought it back enough? He's finishing perfectly. Won't be enough. But it's another for Jack. He's got 3.
Rich ran to a roadblock. Oliver dumps it long. Big fly and another good pluck. It's all unfolding delightfully right now for the D's, and Watts to line up. They wouldn't give it to him earlier, but he's going to line up and kick his own from 25.
Yeah, they're going to try and break him right now, Melbourne. They're surging, and they just want to open this game right up and turn it into a percentage booster, whereas Brisbane Lions have to hang tough. That's a terrific contested mark of a floating ball.
Four goals in a row for Melbourne.
Well, he's a much improved player, Jace, isn't he, Jack Watts? You can see here Oliver just bursting the ball forward, and you call it beautifully. Just the ability to fly early and mark the ball. He's elite for that area, Jack Watts. There's no doubt in that whatsoever. You can see here the scout profile, the marks. He's elite. His kicking efficiency is elite. And of course, he's kicked 2 goals, 1, and that's a great profile to have.
For a moment, now Tom McDonald. Stretch, good tackling pressure from the power. Impey had him. Garland, though, finds a way forward. Oscar McDonald sends it to the square. Watts! Great use of the body. And the Demons, a good chance to kick the first of the game here.
They did well there, Lynch, just to keep the ball alive. Yeah. About 60 metres out. Some good tackling by the power, but some strength with their hands from the Melbourne players to eventually get it into Jack Watts' hands. Kick just to his advantage here as well, where he was able to use the body, protect the drop zone.
He's just got to be on the right side for the forward, and he can hold his ground and get across and take that mark. Number 1 goal kicking accuracy in the competition is Melbourne.
18 goals this season for Jack Watts. He's really hit his straps, and he kicks the first of the game. The Demons are on the board in Alice Springs.
Impey.
Ebert. Trouble. Lost it now, Impey. He's claimed and gone. Advantage paid. Garlett goes short. Kent's got it right on the 50. Looking for a target. It's a good kick for Watts.
Yeah, beautiful pass out in front. Thought Kent might have had the leg to get there, but he's more confident in giving off the pass to Jack Watts. Fair to say, they need this one just to take an ounce of pressure, just gain or even stop the momentum that Port's had in the last quarter and a half.
Jack Watts. The Demons are desperate for a goal, trailing by 35 points. Was looking dangerous in the first quarter, Watts. And a little quieter since then. The Power have been all over the top of the Demons since about quarter time. Watts' kick looks pretty good, and he's got his second. A much needed one for Melbourne.
Here's a chance for Bradley Hill. Held without the football. Umpire said it's all okay. Vandenberg back over the top of the youngster in Oliver. Sweeps the handball. Now a chance for Garlett. Steps inside. Now to Tyson. To 50. Long ball. It's over the top to Jack Watts. And the Demons will lead at half-time.
Off the mark quickly and puts himself under pressure. And Tyson, good grab.
He's been really good in the early part of this third term, Dom Tyson.
Just another one of these former Giants. It's flourishing now. Hogan, big fly, not quite. Kent kicked the last. Hogan, great give. Jack Watts on the left. Around the corner. Watts has got a couple. Tyson, Kennedy. And now the long ball. Hogan again looking ominous. Got his hands onto it. Dawes fed it over the top. There's another give on if Vandenberg wants it. Gives now. Jack Watts. Goal to Jack. 37 the margin. And the D's rolling. Tyson.
When you look at the inside 50s, the difference is only 3. There's 38 for Collingwood, 41 for Melbourne.
Well done, Vine. He had side bottom to beat. Did really well. Vandenberg to Tringo. Second game back over the top. Well, it's not going to... Watts, yes, it is! Brave from Watts. Had 2 pies running at him. I'm not sure he thought that they knew where he was. Never took his eye off the football. Watts could go back.
That would have knocked the earth off its axis if they had applied it then. That would have been heavy.
They had an option.
Yep.
Chose not to use it. So Jack Watts, to extend the lead to 49, has one next to his name for the afternoon. You can hear the roar. The Demons fans go up as one.
Atkins claimed him and could well have been given a free. Garlett kept on going though. And Hogan also was able to fend off the tackler and send it to the square. The danger grows, and you can feel the pressure, and it's Jack Watts' free, and it'll be Jack Watts' goal, barring an absolute disaster.
Well, I thought the Crows were a bit stiff not to get one for incorrect disposal in that early pack, but clearly that one was a free kick in a very dangerous position.
And that's what tends to happen. If you can get the ball quickly to the top of the goal square in a one-on-one situation, puts enormous pressure on the defender.
So, from point-blank range, Jack Watts, consecutive goals coming up for the Demons. And they are back within 5 points at the G. He's up overall, as you saw. Clean out of the middle again through Tyson. Jack Watts is going to be at the back of the pack if it gets to him. It does now. It all opened up for Jack. Around the corner, and the Demons fans are on their feet again. As a favourite son, Jags another. That's his second, and have a look at them in the aisles, the Melbourne fans.
Well, they certainly are. Very, very excited. And so they should be, as you just said, Jared. Out of the middle, big dominance. And Dom Tyson on this occasion, silver service from Big Maxi Gawn, and drives it in long, and enough pressure to cause the spillage, and great finish from Jack Watts.
A little bit too much room from Hardigan. He just sweated off him, and they're going to have to tighten up. They're under siege at the moment.
Couldn't take it cleanly. Harms got it away. Now Nathan Jones. They go forward again. Gee, another one here would be handy. Can Big Max take a mark? No, he can't. Hogan threw it out the back to Watts. Watts can kick the goal, and he does. Demons are coming back.
Excellent at their defensive transition from D50.
McDonald long out of defence in the Gawn direction. Had 3 to beat, but Melbourne had the runners waiting down. Tyson for Hogan. Around the boundary line. They're running this well, Melbourne. Kent gets it to Kennedy. Now the good transition. Watts is in a one-on-one. Worked his way to the front and took the mark.
This is wonderful. Beautiful transfer of the ball. But Jesse Hogan, if he's going to work that far up, the great forwards work hard back to goal. He's walked since he gave that handball off at the back flank. He's got to turn and go in with it.
Yep.
You can't rely on your second string forward to mark every time. He's got to work harder going back. Having said that, it is 28 degrees out there, so we'll cut him a bit of slack in the opening few minutes.
Jack Watts coming off what was considered a career best game for him last week against the Crows. He's certainly having a career best season. Normally a pretty good shot on goal. This one's tight. but he's got it home, and the Demons have kicked a couple in a row. Threw his body in there, trying to clean up Neil on the way through. Kennedy, Jaden Hunt, back for Nathan Jones. Jaden Hunt again. Ball out for Watts. Wanted the body of Collins early, and he's got it again. Strong contested mark by Jack Watts.
Well, Collins has been a fantastic find, and if we looked at the way we profile him, he's elite in the one-on-ones. And he's very good in everything else, above average in everything else, but he's elite in the one-on-ones. But he has been done in the body contest here for the drop of the ball. I suppose if you move it in there and you've turned your backman around and there's a bit of urgency about it, you got him on the back foot. But that's his strength area. Jack Watts has got him on that. Have a look at his chances according to shots from here during his career.
Already got one in this term, Jack Watts. This one starts right, but it'll just sneak inside the post. Jack Watts kicks his second.
He's having a great quarter again. Jack Watts started this game very well. And talking to Ben Dixon, interviewed Paul Roos before the game, he said he had a big pre-season this year, and that's been the difference. A lot of work in development, got his fitness levels right up. And I hope he understands that now, because for Jack Watts, he's going to have a big year, no doubt. It's what he does next pre-season as well, whether he rests on his laurels or whether this guy here can continue on and have another big year next year in Melbourne's development.
Clearly his best season.
And that's what I mean, because now he's going to have his best season of footy in terms of goals and output for Melbourne. Next summer he needs to come back and set records on what he's done the year before, pre-season before.
As a second string key forward type, he's aiming up 50 for the year, which is awesome.
Melbourne go forward to centre again. Jaden Hunt's kick. Spur had to wait. There was some wrestling going on behind the plate. And Watts has got a chance to go back for number 3.
Yeah, Sam Collins is trying to protect his man, his teammate, and he's tried to run his opponent, Watts, off the ball. We get a look at it from behind here. He looks at him. He's got to at least put the hands up and make out he's going for it. Yeah,
we used to train that a lot. Come in behind, pretend you make the umpire think you're going for the mark, but you're not actually doing it. Get up, get off the ground, and get right in behind the back of your teammate.
Watts says his future is at Melbourne. He expects a new deal. He's not too far away, of course, a free agent. And he's got 3 goals in the first quarter. He's kicked half of Melbourne's scores so far. They've got 6 for the term.
Dunstan, game 50, into the pocket. Oscar McDonald, the younger of the two.
And building too. He's really starting to build his career, Oscar. We know that Tom McDonald has become one of the more accomplished defenders in the game, but this bloke has got great athleticism like his brother.
Tom, 3 years his senior, gives to Viney, and then a good ball over the top. Have a look at this, white jumpers everywhere. Well, Petrarca, he's already kicked one. Bouncing ball, option over the top in the square. He saw it. Goal coming up for Jack Watts. Doesn't get too much easier than that. The Demons, they get their 3rd.
Petrarca almost. Vandenberg goes and finds it and linked up well with Brayshaw and Tyson.
Hogan running hard towards goal.
Harms out wide. This is, if they can play like this, you'd think they'd be able to score regularly. Watts is the longest option. Stretch wants to make sure of it. They're coming for you, Jack. Well done.
It was really good play. And Hogan has sensed that. Hogan actually let down, had a look around, and there was Jack Watts on his own. So Hogan then did the U-turn and led at the ball carry out to keep that space open for Jack Watts. So really good hard running. And you're right, Hutto, that's the first time Melbourne were able to break free outside through the midfield, and really it should be just a soda, this one for Jack Watts.
You wouldn't expect to see a different history in terms of shots from this point in the ground.
There's the target right behind the goals. Slotted calmly through by Jack Watts, and Melbourne at last have a goal.
They've missed 2 targets in the corridor. Turnovers haven't been punished. They will next time.
Hunt with a flashy run through the middle. The give, the get back. Advances through the centre. Penetrating kick. Again, Watts.
Beautiful kick. Straight on the top of Jack Martin. That's better. Just identify your key forwards. That's pretty simple, isn't it? You kick the ball north of 30 to a contest and identified that there was a mismatch, but regardless of whether it was a mismatch or not, I think Paul Roos would rather see the ball turned over in this area of the ground than where it has been
about 45 out, or that extra handball we saw from Vandenberg to Jones, but probably been their best passage of play for the day, Melbourne.
Watts for his second goal, and for Melbourne's second goal.
Shot clock got down to 3 before he started walking.
A little left, but it's fine. And Melbourne had the last 2 goals. Back instead. Wagner around the corner. Watts!
What a great contested mark. That's a great mark.
Can he kick the winner, perhaps?
There's still plenty of time. Half chances from Watts all day. He's actually looked the most likely to take a contested mark for Melbourne all day, and that's his 9th mark. 5 of those contested. He's kicked 2 goals, 2. He's set shot history from here.
Well, he had 2 at the other end from virtually the same spot, missed them both left. You can see the numbers normally go left.
Well, despite all of that, if you had to pick a player for Melbourne, you've been watching all day, you would pick Jack Watts.
Deliberate run-up.
The moment has arrived with 2 minutes remaining on an afternoon full of mistakes. It's a great kick that gets the job done for the Demons, but it's not over yet.
No, it's not over yet, but I've got no doubt Paul Roos would be, after the run-up, get 2 players behind the ball now, and you can just see here, the half contest won here by Melbourne. They get the ball forward. There's Watts with hands on hips with Joyce. Have a look, and then just a beautiful half chance. That's a great use of the body, and Rodney Eade not too happy that Joyce couldn't halve that contest. Here's a beautiful kick. Melbourne have put 2 or 3 extra, including Jack Watts, who just kicked the goal. So he's actually kicked the goal. Now he's behind the ball on his own, directing traffic.
Right cross handball smothered. Scrambled away by Tyson. Good attack again. Wiedemann and slick hands. Garnet long. Watts in a race. Stratton. Watts having the season of his life.
Terrific kick there. Well weighted.
Now Luke Hodge here has a little bit of a problem. David King's about to investigate that. He's heading downstairs. In the meantime, Jack Watts, 2016 is his 8th season. It's been worth the wait.
It has been. His goal kicking is absolutely sensational this year. His set shots.
Kicked 3-2 last week, including the game winner. And he drills that. Perfection from Watts.
Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it? He's a really good goal kicker, but Melbourne have struggled the last few weeks with their goal kicking conversion, Jono. Certainly not, certainly no fault of this guy, but the rest of the guys need to follow his lead. Look at this, good run and really good way to kick.
Second one today that we've seen that type of vision where Melbourne's been able to get in around. First one was Wiedemann in his first game, kicked the goal, and Jack Watts this time. Keeping his width, keeping forward 50 open, and then bursting back in behind the defence of Hawthorn. But it's critical you use the ball well through the mid-zone of the ground
there was
for that to happen.
Voice. Viney with the 1-2 with Vince. Burst free. Good attack, Pedersen. Wiedemann, clever. To Kent, who sees Watts and hits him.
That was a great kick, wasn't it, Jono?
Ball movement has been magnificent. Wiedemann's been involved 3 or 4 times now. He kicked the goal himself, a couple of score assists to go with it, and he stayed down in the contest, was able to trap it, knew where Kent was, and then that bullet coming inside 50 made Jack Watts come back at the ball.
Melbourne can finish as high as 9th. They can't make the finals, but 9th would be a pretty good spot to finish to emphasise their improvement this year, and a win over Hawthorn would be massive. Watts for his second. He's never really in doubt. Melbourne back in front.
It was really good, really solid play off half-back. Their run and drive was excellent once again. And look, they sneak back in front, Brownie.
Yeah, look at this. It's really interesting. Now, let's have a look at this contest. Here's Jack Watts here. And let's also watch for Dean Kent when he gets it. This is chemistry in the forward line, okay? Jack Watts pulls back. Kent's got the ball, but he lets Kent kick the ball first before moving forward to the ball. That is a perfect example of good forward line chemistry with the midfield. Watts didn't go too early. He allowed Kent to kick the ball, and then Watts led into that. The Hawthorn defenders can't stop that, John.
No, it's because it's the bullet coming in. It's so quick. If it's out any height on it, Gibson gets back or Stratton gets in a spoil in, keeping them on their opposite leg as much as possible.
Because they are such a good kicking team. Melbourne's out here, play on advantage. Or Kent or Watts. Kent's got it. Watts is in the square. He sees Watts. He hits Watts. And he's such a sharp shooter, he might as well go back and kick his third.
That's been where Melbourne have been excellent today, Brownie. I haven't seen Hawthorn beaten like this around the stoppages for damage. This will be the 6th goal Hawthorn have kicked one directly from stoppages.
Yeah, you're dead right, Keir. They've almost done to Hawthorn what Hawthorn do to so many teams. They've been really slick with their hands. They've handballed out of those clearances really well and then kicked the ball well.
Watts has 3, and Melbourne has their biggest lead of the game, 17 points.
What about the year Jack Watts is having? Absolutely sensational. And you can see in there, in behind, Gibson's the one on him. Because Tyson's kick was so good to Kent in the middle of the ground, Gibson has to make a decision when to come up and block the kick. He was waiting for Jarray to get back, couldn't. And Jack Watts was able to pop out the back all by himself.
Well, this has been his best year, Jack Watts. Have a look at over the season, just improving. Have a look at that. This is his best year, 85 along with 2012. But I think this is the year that he's had the most impact.
Now they've got some room. Vandenberg looking for options. Not sure where to go. He pokes it wide and Watts on the lead. It was a good kick in the end to his advantage.
Yeah, it was a good kick and he needed to hit a target. They haven't been going too well going forward, Melbourne. This is not an easy shot, that goal, though.
I reckon Jack Watts, as a kicking action, is the best in the league at the moment.
Well, he kicks big goals, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got a beautiful kicking action.
I concur with you, Dermot. I think he's an absolute star, this boy.
Almost flawless, this kicking action. Points the toe at the target.
37 goals, 16 for Jack Watts this season. Normally a reliable set shot. The Demons have only kicked 1 goal in the second half. The power crowd making plenty of noise. And a great bit of skill from Jack Watts. Never looked like missing.
Beautiful action, nice and clean and straight and little room for error. That part of the ground for a right footer quite often just gets in the heads of too many players. They either walk at the right goalpost and hit that, or they push it across the other side, but he just did it absolutely perfectly. Just took his time here to deliver the ball. Beautiful to the advantage side of Watts, who he's had 13 touches and that's his first goal.
Watch this side on.
Kicked some big goals this year.
Yeah.